All right, guys. Well, I'm just now leaving Danuser. We brought the hammer back that they let us borrow to do some videos with. We just had a demo hammer, but while I was here, I was like, you know, I got something else. If you guys have, you know, like a demo or something, I've actually been looking at buying one of these, but I didn't know much about them. But when I looked at theirs were a lot. It seemed like they were a lot tougher. Sorry, I'm trying to drive too. They seemed like they were a lot tougher built than the one that I was going to buy, and it is a stump planer for an auger drive. Well, they make a 10 and a 16. I have both, so I'll be able to try it out on my auger drive. My auger drive, it doesn't really tell me what foot-pound of torque it makes, and that's what they go off of to tell you which one you can run. And he was like, well, we'll just send you with both of them, see what you think, let us know, and if you want to buy one, you can buy one. If not, bring it back to us and be done. So anyways, we'll see what happens. We'll get this thing on an auger, on my auger, and go from there. And we may end up stepping up to one of their augers, because their auger drive might actually be a little better than mine. So anyways, figured I'd give you guys an update, and we'll be back. Alright guys, well, I just got back from Danuser, and I have some goodies to show you guys. So I took back the hammer that they let me demo. I was highly appreciative of that. And then I was talking to the guys at Danuser, and they were like, so what else you think you'd want to do a video on? And I said, well, I'd like to do a video on something that I could do work with, that I generally do, just to see if it's going to help my business any. And I said too, I kind of did a shout out to you guys, saying, hey, if there's something in particular you want me to demo from Danuser, let me know. So I let him know that the video of the hammer is going to be up in a couple days, and I just figured that I was already looking at buying one of these. Now I don't know what size. This is a 10-inch, and this is a 16-inch. Okay, we're doing a truck bed review right here. So I really wanted to show you a couple things. So I was looking at one. So I'm set up as a dealer of some import stuff here in town. I know it's import. It comes from China in a boat. They've told me before, hey, we're waiting on a shipping container from China. They're 100%, you know, clear on where the stuff comes from. I have an auger drive from them. I've sold their auger drives. Really haven't had a whole lot of problems out of them, but most of the guys that I sell to, they're not using them every day. I don't know, I wouldn't want to tell you that they would hold up or not. I won't really tell you who it is, and it's just one of those things. But their auger drives are okay. So, but my thought was they have one of these planer things, and it's the one, if you guys have been looking at these, it's the one, it's got like a little finger looking thing, kind of a wing or whatever, coming off the back of it. Well, as you can tell, these are way thicker. So when I saw this thing, I was like, holy cow. I mean, this is an inch thick plate, and this is 3/4. This is 3/4 inch plate for a gusset. Then the little guy is the same thing. It's 1 inch and 3/4 plate. They didn't shrink down the plate to go to the little 10-inch over the 16-inch. I mean, they probably could have shrank this up to 3/4 and 1/2 inch or something, being it's only a 10-inch, but apparently this is no. Let's just keep the same thickness. I respect that. I'm fine with that. But the other one, a lot of them have the little bolt. You know, it's got a bolt in your fisheye point or whatever. This is a screw point. But this is actually, I was actually going to take it totally out. I didn't take it totally out. That looks like a machined part. Okay, so this part might all be machined. I didn't know if it just had a threaded insert and it was pinned or something. That looks like a full machine part, and then they welded the little wings on here, and I'm telling you, those wings are kind of sharp. I mean, they're not sharp enough to like cut me open, but they're as sharp as that blade, maybe a little sharper. Anyways, but I like the fact that this thing screws in. It doesn't have a bolt to break, so you lose your point down in a piece of wood or something. And look how thick this weldment is. You know, obviously it's probably not welded all the way through, but that's like 2 inches or something there. Let's see. Tape measure for my tape measure review. It's 2 inches on the widest part, actually about 2 1/8, about 1.5 inches or so. I mean, that's a nice strong looking piece. Now, can I break it? Probably not. Will I try? We can, but I don't think we're gonna break it. That's a pretty stout piece. I like the idea of the screw, and then we go to a larger cutter, which is actually, I would assume this is to help draw the material in and get a really good bite in your stump, so you don't have to put a lot of downforce on it. This is probably going to draw the cutter into your material, into your stump. But I just so happen to have, I hope FedEx didn't come in here, because I'm gonna have to redo the video, because the guy's real funny and he'll, like, I don't know, they kept going, so I'm not getting anything today. He's slowing down. Maybe I'm getting something today. Anyways, my FedEx guy's pretty funny if it's my normal guy. Anyway, I get a lot of FedEx. Anyways, but I'm pretty impressed with the way that they look. Now, if they work well, we'll see. These are fairly new to market, I was told. The guys at Danuser, they're like, you know, if you don't know if you want a 10 or a 16, well, and another reason why we didn't know what bit to use is my auger drive. My auger drive is fairly new. I have been thinking about getting a hex drive over my round. I've got a 2 9/16 round, which is this. It's the 2.56. And so they were nice enough to give me an adapter to use, so I could make sure I could adapt down to get to their hex drive. But for me, I bought the biggest standard flow auger drive that you could get. And that being said, it'll run up to like a 36-inch bit. This is from my place that I'm set up as a dealer. So my thought was if I had a hex drive, I wouldn't be relying on just this bolt to keep it attached, because, you know, obviously if the bolt breaks, this round's just going to spin. My thought was if I'm doing big holes, you know, 30 or 36-inch holes, because I'd kind of like to start doing some peering and stuff with my excavator. I've actually got my auger drive. I've got a mount that I'm going to make to fit the auger drive over to the excavator. I was going to try to get into doing some peering for a builder that I've got. My thought was, you know, when you're going down, you know, if I'm doing some really deep piers, that's going to be a lot of force on a little bolt. So I thought about actually switching over to a hex drive. So I was kind of shopping a hex drive, auger drive. Well, then I got to talking to the guys at Danuser, and they're like, well, if you really like this bit, let us know, and you know, we can figure out what auger drive you'd use. And anyways, I'd like one auger drive to fit both the skid loader and the excavator, because I don't want to have, like, I can't afford to have multiples to fit everything. And I've got a mount that's pin grabber, and it goes to the little, you know, I don't know, the 90 degree off the 90 degree knuckle or whatever. Anyways, but back to the bits. So we're going to use these bits up there at the clearing job that I've got. I've got a couple stumps. I've got stumps up there that are big enough that we're going to have to take multiple bites with this 16-inch. But we're going to see what it does on my auger drive. I can tell you the manufacturer of the auger drive, and I can give you the specs, but the specs really don't tell you much. It just says what size bit it'll run and up to what gallon a minute it'll do, or it'll handle. And mine will do up to 30 gallon a minute machines, and it'll run a 36-inch bit. Well, if you look at Danuser's website, they go on a different basis. They'll tell you what flows and stuff you need, but they will actually tell you how many pound-feet of torque that auger drive is producing, and that's how they gauge these bits. So you need, I believe it was at least 3,000 pounds of torque to run this one, the 16-inch, and then, you know, everything else you'd put the little 10-inch on. And I actually just noticed something, so it's kind of nice. I guess if dealers are watching my channel and watching this, I just noticed something. So I thought this was one blade. It's not. It's two blades, and it looks like it's the exact same blade as this. So if for some reason somebody wears out blades on this thing, which you can flip them, I would think that would be a whole lot of stumps. But you could just stock, you know, like a 25 count box of blades or whatever they come in. That's kind of nice. I mean, I didn't notice that one was kind of painted in, so I didn't realize that it was two blades, but that is two blades. Anyways, well, I think they look amazing. I'm kind of excited about running them. I'm not excited about it gonna rain for the next 3 days again. So as soon as the rain lets up, my dad is chomping at the bit to do anything and everything up there at that property. So we'll probably run these up there, and we're gonna see what they'll do. I'll run my machine on standard flow, and then I'll run it on high flow. That's why I have the auger drive. It's not a Danuser auger drive, but I do have an auger drive that can handle up to 30 gallon a minute. So I can put my machine in high flow, and we'll see the differences in between. I am really glad that they let me take both bits. I didn't know which one to run, and I told him, I was like, hey, I'm shopping for one. I'll buy one, but I don't know what I want. Well, this way I'll tell you what my auger drive goes up to flow wise, and then we'll put it in standard flow and high flow on my machine, and we'll tell you what the spec of my machine is, and then you can kind of make an assumption of what your machine could do beyond that. If you have a big boy, you could probably run the big boy. If you got a little 317 or an SVL 65 standard flow, maybe you run this little 10-inch, which I would still think this thing's gonna eat some stump for lunch. I mean, this thing, it's built just as heavy as the 16. So anyways, that's our little pickup overview. I don't know if I really gave you any pertinent information. I hope I did. I'm really excited about, you know, trying to run these things. I think they are fairly new to market, like I said. So we're probably going to have one of the newest or newer videos out there of them. I'm not quite sure if any dealers have a whole bunch of these yet or not. So that's kind of exciting. We can kind of get a video out there for you guys, and maybe it'll help with the marketing tool for them. And then we could get more stuff to show you guys, which is really what I'm after. I'm not getting paid from them for anything. They're just letting me use stuff and try it out and let you guys know what I think. I guess kind of a tester. But I would honestly say that whichever one of these works the best on my auger drive, I'm probably going to try to buy one.